experience of my life, and I can't imagine that anything else that I'll ever do will equal just the scope of it, really, just the magnitude of it. Living in New Zealand for nearly 2 years, taking my wife and my 3-year-old daughter down there for the whole time. I mean, that's really like the best part of the experience for me is the fact that I got to share it with my wife and daughter. And everybody knows, most people know the stories of, how the fellowship, how close we all got, and the hobbits, how great that was, and Elijah. So we were based in Wellington, New Zealand, which is New Zealand, for those of you who don't know, raise your hand if you don't know the geography of New Zealand. You know what? When I ask an affirmative question, the hands shoot way up. But if I ask a question that has a negative connotation, there's this sheepish.
I know New Zealand.
If you don't know, there's nothing wrong with the word I don't know. If you don't know New Zealand, raise your hand. Still, 20% of you who just re-raised your hand actually did it with gusto. So New Zealand is, you know where Australia is? About almost, I think it's like 2,500, almost 3,000 miles. It's almost the width of our nation is the Tasmanian Sea between Australia and New Zealand, 2 islands there. The bottom of the South Island, I think maybe Madagascar, but is sort of the closest you can get to Antarctica. So, and it's, there's nothing poisonous on the island. It's amazing to go to a place where there's nothing poisonous, except other people. Some of the relationships can be quite toxic, but no. And it's green and it's beautiful. There's like 50 million sheep. Like 3 million people and 50 million sheep. I don't know how they count, but they seem really, the tourist people are very confident about it. And that's what you eat when you're down there, so it's land all the time. And the mountains, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, just the actual natural splendor is enough to, people go down there and they never come back, they just want to live there. The vineyards are down there, New Zealand wine is great and stuff, but the bottom part of the South Island is Wellington, the capital. The biggest city is Auckland, which is the top of the North Island. And we were based in Wellington, but then we filmed all over. I mean, we literally filmed everywhere. A couple times we went for extended periods of time, almost 2 months into the South Island. Towards the bottom of the South Island is a place called Queenstown. Queenstown is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. It's just most beautiful. You as you're flying in these mountains. I mean, we've got pretty great mountains in this country. You go to Colorado and Wyoming, and the Grand Tetons, and we've got pretty great mountains in America. It just blows your mind the way the mountain will come right up out of this huge lake and just kind of in a sheer. It almost looks like you can't. How does that happen in nature? I guess a glacier melted over millions of years or something like that. And you take a gondola to the top, and we did. It's